It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
The Shepherd the Knucklehead celebrates two of man's greatest pursuits, craft beer and a hot meal.
When it comes to craft beer, they're all in. An incredible lineup of beers on tap, fed by rows of kegs in the basement. And they double down with a menu of apps, soups, seafood, and butchered on-site steaks. Everything scratch-made, local ingredients whenever possible.
Great place, great food, unbelievable beer selection, friendly staff, can't go wrong.
Craft beer, cocktails, food, classic and creative. Something for everyone. The Shepherd and the Knucklehead.
This is Dan Schiavo along with Kevin Galbreth. Jonathan Ober, unfortunately, cannot be with us tonight. Thank you to Richard Quinn again for hosting us and Rockland World Radio. Thanks Phyllis Feeder and Modern Metro, as well as our sponsors, of course, the Shepherd and the Knucklehead. So we have another exciting week to talk about on updates from this past week and on this week to come. So we are right in we got the football coming up, the draft, the NFL draft. We got baseball season. It feels like a spring day that baseball season can pretty much be here already. And so that'll be here before we know it, as well as
NFL free agency.
Mm-hmm. So start us off, Kev.
So like we said with all that, we got also NFL free agency signing begins like a week from now. So we got that coming up. And meanwhile, I'll start off I think on spring training. Yankees get, unfortunately, some more bad news injury-wise after this Judge battling, the soreness in his shoulder and chest. He's now been finally diagnosed with a fractured rib and may miss extended time this season yet again.
Yeah, I mean, talk about bad fortune. Yeah. And I mean, as popular as he is, and he is the number one most popular person. He's been the most popular Yankee. But, not that I agree with it, but even some people are calling for him to be traded because he hasn't, stayed healthy.
And I definitely also disagree with that. I think it would be foolish to, because when he's healthy, he's still, I think, a very good player. And I don't know if he's really that much different than everyone these days. Everyone seems to be much more injury prone these days, and so I don't think you can really say he's not well conditioned or too injury prone. Whoever they get in return for him is probably going to be injury prone too.
Yeah, I mean, all the Yankees are injured right now.
For 2 years in a row, how can you get this snakes with injuries 2 years in a row?
Yeah, with this many injuries, I mean, I don't know. To me, I think they may need better, trainers who kind of, they need different trainers, possibly.
Right, well, supposedly they did. I heard they actually did replace their training staff from last year, but apparently it really hasn't helped enough. Since they replaced their training, they did have a turnover a lot of their trainers from last year, but they still have the injuries at the start of this year.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, it could be the whole philosophy and the trend that the league has been going, pushing, the trainers and the people who would do the conditioning, strength and conditioning, and that type of a thing, maybe too much. So, That's, yeah.
Yeah, there's an argument to be made that the guys overdo it these days, the strength and conditioning is almost too good. I think we talked about this last week, so good that they're actually overdoing it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, they're overdoing it. And that's the problem.
Judge's injury here was actually, they say he actually suffered this injury last September, when he crashed into a wall, catching a deep fly ball, and he knew he injured something, but he kind of played out the rest of the season in the playoffs and seemed to play through it pretty well, and then it was just something, I guess, that he was hoping would heal up over the off season, but hadn't healed up the way he hoped it was. And he didn't, but he just now was diagnosed. So it's like just now he's learning that he actually broke one of his ribs when he crashed into the wall, catching a fly ball last September.
Yeah, that can be painful. That could be quite painful. That could be quite one of those injuries that will kind of nag at you too, because there's not much that you can do about it. Maybe besides surgery, which is the last resort. But
right, and yeah, they're hoping he doesn't need surgery for it, because if he does, then he could miss the whole season like Severino.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to find. Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating because, as good as he is, everybody's saying that, he's injury prone. But it's a lot of the Yankees that are injury prone. I don't know if it's there's pressure on that as a Yankees, trainer or something. If there's pressure to get them to be like the best conditions in the world, and they're overdoing it. But really, all the strength and conditioning. Guys were healthier back in the 50s, and they were very well conditioned. Think about guys like Mickey Mantle and Billy Martin, and Devin Munson. Those guys were very, very strong. Reggie Jackson back then. And that's going back to the 70s, let alone the 90s. They didn't really need to change that much. So. Right,
yeah, and even the 90s, when it's like the core of the 90s, these dynasty teams like Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams, it all felt, Tino Martinez, Chuck Knobloch, it all felt like Paul O'Neill, all of those guys really didn't miss much time with injuries.
Yeah, they didn't miss extended periods of time. It's crazy that, you're always trying to improve your profession, but, it's almost like the pressure of trying to improve their profession and work the players harder and smarter, it almost set them back. It almost set them back.
I think in the case of Aaron Judge here, it's actually a little different because his injuries are really injuries that, are kind of almost inevitable when he plays sports, and he just had bad fortune of encountering situations where he gets them, I think 2 out of 3 of the injuries he's had, 2 years ago he was hit by a pitch and broke his wrist, so that's kind of like not out of what strength and conditioning is not going to avoid that, and this particular injury he has right now, where he broke his rib crashing into a wall while catching a fly ball, is one other one that really strength and conditioning is not going to avoid.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. I feel bad for him because I still think, nonetheless, he's going to get that reputation as a player who can't stay healthy on the field. But, he really just had bad fortune.
Right, strength and conditioning is really more supposed to help you not not like pull a hamstring when running the first base, or you know, like let's say maybe like tear an ACL when you're hyperextending, you know, that kind of thing is more what strength and conditioning is about.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. And that does happen, and I mean, people have to kind of understand that with Aaron Judge. I mean, hopefully they do, but you know, not the impression I've necessarily gotten so far. Some people are still kind of calling for, you know, for him to be traded. And I knew that.
Well, I think the more intelligent fans, for lack of a better word to use, I think know better. You know, will know. It would be silly to trade him.
Yeah. He's the face of the franchise.
Yeah, he's like the face of the franchise. He's like the second coming of Derek Jeter. You know, he's like probably as popular as Derek Jeter was back in the 90s when Derek Jeter came aboard back in the 90s. You know, he's becoming like the same icon Derek Jeter became back then.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, at least when he was, his first year, especially when he was healthy. But since then, yeah. I mean, definitely. Even so, I mean, there was everybody was looking forward to him coming back last season from injury. So,
yeah, I mean, if he hopefully the worst case scenario is maybe he missed 2 months again. That's how much he missed last year and the year before. And last year's injury was like the one injury where he with the oblique injury last year. That's like maybe the one injury where you can tie the strength and conditioning.
Right. Well, and the Yankees, fortunately, are talented enough where he's. The main thing is that he's going to be better and healthy for the playoffs. So.
Right. Yeah, that's what you really hope for, is that because the Yankee season really, let's face it, starts in like September, October. You know, really, like we should be a little more concerned right now about them being the shoe-in for the playoffs? Do you think with all these injuries, do you think we should be a little concerned that they're maybe not as much of a shoe-in for the playoffs as we thought like a month ago?
No, I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs. It's just a matter of, I don't know if they're going to win 110 games or something like that.
Right, yeah, and I heard someone on WFAN yesterday basically say that he only thinks that maybe all these injuries only maybe take them from being like a team that might win 110 games to a team that might win somewhere between 100 and 105 games. Again, just like last year.
Right, yeah, that's very possible. I mean, Yankees, we're kind of a little bit spoiled as Yankees fans. Because, I still don't think it's going to put them in a position where they're not going to play in the playoffs. That's not the Yankees. Because given that they're talented enough to make the playoffs, what's really going to matter for them is what happens in October. So.
Right, so it's better if, at least, better if they're going to have the injuries, better to have them now than October.
And this is true. This was kind of true for last year too, and Judge was in the playoffs last year, and that helped them. So, that worked out well last year. So I mean, even though yes, he did miss extended time on the disabled list, he was a valuable contributor to him getting to where they did in the playoffs. And if it wasn't for, I mean, possibly if the Astros were cheating, they could have won that series. So, it came to a miraculous Game 6 victory that if that didn't really happen, if he didn't hit that home run, if it was pushed to Game 7, anything could have happened.
We'll never know if they would have won Game 7. They would have had to keep in mind they would have had to beat Garrett Cole in Game 7, but there was that walk-off, that Jose Altuve walk-off homer off of Chapman was what prevented there from being in Game 7.
Right, yeah, I mean, and you had Chapman in. I mean, heck, you really, the Yankees really were, it was doable to win that Game 7, actually, too, if it was a Game 7. So, and, yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, if it came down to a Game 7, of course, you do wonder if the cheating, you know, if them cheating made a difference. So.
Right. Well, last year, I don't think we know for sure that they were cheating last year. We just accept it based on the fact that we know they were cheating in 2017. That's the year we're, well, no, they were cheating.
Well, why would they stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, my impression is that they were cheating.
Right, and yeah, people say that, but Jose Altuve would hit that home run thing off of Chapman, that walk-off homer off of Chapman, thanks to knowing exactly what the pitch was going to be.
Right, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Right, indeed. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, who knows? So, you know, who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees, yeah, I mean, it definitely was close enough where the Astros could have theoretically sold 2 titles from the Yankees. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I do actually think, yeah, even in spite of all these injuries, that the Yankees are still the team to beat, you know, in the American League this year. Last year, I actually did, for most of the year, think that Houston was the team to beat. But this year, now that the Yankees have taken Garrett Cole from Houston, I do think the Yankees are the team to beat this year in the American League.
Right. I know, and I disagreed with you last year, though, because the Yankees were the most well-rounded team. You know, between, you know, really pretty good pitching and hitting, and, well, I mean, just the depth that they had, more so. But, yeah, I mean, it's usually the most well-rounded team to win.
Well, a lot of times, well, like last year, I do think the Yankees were a very good, well-rounded team last year, but I think Houston was a little better. You know, was just a little better with people like mostly with people like Verlander and Cole in their rotation. And yeah, keep in mind the best. But yeah, keep in mind being the best, most well-rounded team really in baseball doesn't guarantee that you're going to win. Like even Houston last year, who I thought was the team to beat, didn't win the World Series.
Sure. Well, I mean, also, I mean, the Yankees didn't really have a weak spot in their rotation. I mean, all the starters were good.
Yeah, all of them were good, but they were missing that really. I really remember I kept saying, and I still think that they were missing that really, you know, stellar, you know, ace that Garrett Cole is, and now they've got that, you know, with Garrett Cole.
Well, when they really had to, yeah, like, yeah, because Tanaka, with his injury, could really only do it in the playoffs. I mean, he did kind of step up as an ace when needed. And, of course, well, I mean, really, it was a factor that Amon was not there, too, in the playoffs. That definitely was a factor. You know, because he really was that ace last year. He was the best pitcher that they had last year. So, and in my view, they really ought not to, especially since my understanding was that Amon was not convicted of the domestic violence. So, in my view, that they really ought not to get involved in that. Major League Baseball ought not to get involved in that.
They're hoping to have him back at all. Maybe that's what suspension like they knew that's good.
Right, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I mean, if, what do you call it, Amon did do what he did, I'm not condoning what he did on anything. But, you know, by no means am I condoning what he did. But, you know, he's, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's Major League Baseball's place to, you know, do that. But
professional should not be suspending players for getting illegal trouble off the field. Do you think they shouldn't do you disagree with professional sports suspending players for getting illegal trouble off the field?
Right, yeah, no, I don't think that they ought to suspend people, players for getting into illegal jump ball on the field. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, now's a good segue into our other big topic of the week, and it's, of course, you got to get more dysfunction to the Jets. Their round one draft pick last year, they took third overall. Quentin Williams was arrested this past Thursday, I think it was, for attempting to board a plane with a gun.
Did Major League Baseball hand down any suspension for that? You know?
This is we're talking about the NFL right now.
That's what I meant.
Not that I know of yet, but it's possible. But it's a good possibility that they will.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, same thing with Dak Prescott. That was the same situation with Dak. Not Dak Prescott.
Ezekiel Elliott, right?
Right. Yeah. A few years ago. A year or two ago.
Details on Kenny Williams, he was attempting to board the plane with a gun that he actually did have a permit for in Alabama, but not in New York, and he was boarding the plane at LaGuardia Airport in New York. So he was by New York law. He's guilty of carrying a gun without a permit. And keep in mind, Plaxico Burress went to jail for 2 years for that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it's interesting because the thing is that I think is unusual is that he actually did have a permit for the gun, but it was in a different state. Yeah, I mean, you would think that all the states would be somewhat reciprocal of each other. Like, one state would honor, and I'm not really anti gun control. I'm actually kind of pro gun control, I would say. But you would think that one state would actually honor the other state if he has a permit. Kind of like having a driver's license. You would actually think that, one state honors another state. It's not like you can't drive in a different state. So I wonder if he even knew that was the policy. Because I don't know. I mean, come to think of it, I mean, I'm not even sure I would have really thought that, one state wouldn't honor another state's permit. A permit for a gun is a permit is a permit. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that kind of makes sense. So, yeah, and I walk with somebody who's for gun control, but yeah, I kind of knew that states were that gun permits are given out state by state, so the requirements to get a permit in one state is different from requirements in another state.
Well, I know that. I mean, just like, but it's just like New Jersey and New York State, have slightly different driving laws. And same thing with all other states. I mean, other states have slightly different driving laws, but and they have different road tests and different, policies and procedures. In one state, you could get a license at age 17, one state is age 16, one state is age 18 or something like that. So there's different policies and procedures for different states as far as licenses, but all the states honor each other's license, regardless of what state it's from. So, I would definitely understand. Actually, if he didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess I kind of would too, but nowadays with security, I agree with people who say he had to have been not really thinking clearly to try and board a plane with a gun, with how tight airport security is these days.
Right, yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure necessarily, even though you have a permit for a gun, I'm not even sure I would risk bringing a gun onto a plane. I don't know the situation. There's a lot to that situation. I don't know I don't know if Quinn Williams was a jerk about it or what the deal was exactly.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I just know he was arrested, and I'm just seeing an article now that's saying that they do hope that will be with his attorney. Does hope it will be resolved shortly, and I'm cautiously optimistic, actually, that he won't be in as much trouble as Plaxico Burris is in, because for I think a couple of reasons. Well, one is maybe the fact that he had a permit even though it was in the wrong state, might count for something. And I don't think Plaxico Burris had a permit in any state. And also the gun went off. The gun didn't go off in this case, whereas with Plaxico Burris, the gun actually went off. Another thing was also that Plaxico Burris had a previous criminal record, that was counting heavily against him too.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't think he's going to be in a. Yeah. It's going to be a situation like Plaxico Burris, but yeah. I mean, it's not a good situation, no. But I don't know what the NFL is going to do. It's one of those funny things that. Yeah, he actually didn't have a permit. Yeah, he didn't really have he didn't have a permit, but it was for a different state. Like, yeah, to me, I was thinking about that recently, and just how odd it was that one state doesn't honor another state's permit. So, yeah, and like, I don't know, I mean, definitely, like I said, I mean, really, they're very picky about what you could bring through airport security. But, I would think that they would honor the permit. Like, apparently, if he had a New York State permit, it would have been okay. So, I would think that one would honor the permit. So, but, I mean, who knows? So.
Yeah, who knows? Well, as far as what I think he's going to get, I don't think he's going. I think he'll get off without too many penalties legally. Since that, I don't believe he has a previous criminal record. But the question, I think the big question and concern will be what will the NFL do with him? Hopefully, he won't get a lengthy suspension from the NFL.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's what. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. Yeah.
The NFL does like to suspend players for remedial things, like if you fail a marijuana test in the NFL, you get a 4-year suspension.
Right, yeah. Deflating football or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the big talk. And I mean, the big talk now is that Belichick is tired of Brady's contract, which is another subject that's been really big. Doesn't really want to give Tom Brady the $30 million that he's asking for, apparently. So.
Now, that's probably the biggest NFL topic right now is the free agency. Only less than a week away now. I think, really that will Tom Brady be back with the Patriots, and where will Philip Rivers end up?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, where will Tom Brady? Yeah, a lot of people. My first instinct was, why would he leave the Patriots? But actually, it seems like a lot of people would be very surprised to see him back as a New England Patriot. Actually.
Right. Well, I get kind of mixed predictions on that. Some people think they would be too surprised to see him go anywhere else but back to the Patriots. They would see him either retire or go back to the Patriots. And then there are others who say they're surprised they would get just what you're saying, that they would be surprised to see him back with the Patriots, and they feel like Belichick doesn't want to spend a lot of money on bringing him back.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because Belichick is kind of. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really want to bring back. He's almost said of not bringing him back. Not bringing him back, it seems like. So, yeah. As far as I know, yeah. As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that they really so quarterback who have had this much success together, unprecedented success together, or really getting sick of each other.
Yeah, I mean, they have gotten, yeah. Right, yeah. I mean, I think more, Belichick is really kind of doing what, and like Robert Kraft doesn't want to see him on another team either. So, it's hard to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's hard to predict what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is hard to predict what's going to happen with, this situation. So, yeah, it is. It's very difficult.
Yeah. So, yeah, and we'll see where also Philip Rivers ends up. That's the other big question. Like, since he hasn't announced retirement, I think he's still interested in playing. And, the team I thought made the most sense for him was the Indianapolis Colts.
Right, yeah. I mean, he does seem to be interested in playing still. He definitely has not seemed to show any indication that he's going to retire. So it seems like, I think there's more of a possibility that he could go somewhere else. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and the latest rumors I'm seeing are linking him to the Colts, I think. I remember there were crazy rumors flying about him being linked to the Redskins last week, but that really makes zero sense,
Right, yeah. Yeah, I know. I really doubt that. What does make sense is that Tom Brady grew up worshiping the San Francisco 49ers, which was the last dynasty, really.
Yeah, but I don't think it really makes much sense for the 49ers to, get rid of Garoppolo right now, given that he's right. Tom Brady's the past, and Garoppolo's the future.
Right. Yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah.
It's pretty unprecedented, I think, to get rid of a quarterback who just went to the Super Bowl with.
Right. It would be. Yeah, unless that they made some kind of a weird deal where they rent Tom Brady or something like that, and get Jimmy Garoppolo back or something. But but I don't know. I don't know if I see that happening either. So, yeah. Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo is the future, so.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's really a team that makes that much sense for Tom Brady other than going back to the Patriots, because I don't know if there's any team without a quarterback, but besides the Indianapolis Colts, who are just maybe a good quarterback away from having a chance to contend for a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And do you think that the Colts would have a chance to pick him up?
Yeah, well, there haven't been rumors about that as much as there have been with Philip Rivers, but and I wonder why there isn't more rumors about that, since they're a team that's needing that's looking for a quarterback right now. Well, yeah, but either of those, Tom Brady or Philip Rivers, would be a bridge guy, of course, until they get their next franchise quarterback.
Right. Yeah. But it could be a bridge guy who could win a Super Bowl, kind of like Peyton Manning with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, like Peyton Manning was kind of a bridge guy, though. He was a little more than a bridge guy, because he was somebody once they got Peyton Manning, of course, they were going all in to win right now.
Wait, say that again, Ken?
Oh, yeah, Peyton Manning was kind of a bridge guy with the Denver Broncos, of course. He was a little more than a bridge guy, though, because they were, once they got him, of course, they were going all in to win right now.
Right, yeah, right. Yeah, indeed, yeah. And that's kind of what the Indianapolis Colts would be. Essentially, they'd be in it to win it right now.
Yeah, especially if they bring in Tom Brady, then they'd especially be, they'd be going all in to win now.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it wouldn't be necessarily the next franchise quarterback per se. Of course, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'd be in it to win it right now, but, for lack of a better term, I mean, essentially he is a bridge guy. Just like Brett Favre would have been for the Jets.
Right, he was a bridge guy, but of course, because he was Brett Favre, they were going all in to win now, when they had him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what it is. Yeah. I mean, of course. Yeah. I mean, of course. These are guys. Tom Brady, of course. Peyton Manning and Brett Favre, who are all like, they were they actually were franchise quarterbacks for another team, but they're, you really, essentially, they became bridge guys towards the end of their career for another team, and yes, competitive enough where they actually won the Super Bowl. Not necessarily like somebody like Vinny Testaverde or somebody like that, or like McCown or something like that. So.
Yeah, those were like. Those were kind of like bridge guys too, journeyman bridge guys.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was a kind of a different kind of bridge guy. They weren't really your star quarterback. Yeah, I mean, they weren't your franchise quarterback anymore. They were actually a franchise quarterback to another team. But like, I mean, well, like guys like McCown and Testaverde, like, they never really were franchise quarterbacks anywhere.
Right, they were drafted by another team to be a franchise quarterback and kind of failed to really live up to that role, and then then ended up, kind of bouncing around between teams, and that's where the name journeyman really comes from.
Right, yeah. But they actually found some success. Some of their best work was as bridge guys. McCown.
Right, yes, most successfully. Well, two best examples of this, I think, are actually Vinny Testaverde with the Jets in '98, and then in Kerry Collins with the Giants in 2000.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were kind of late bloomers because of early career struggles, and some of their best work was really as bridge guys. So. Yeah,
they were brought in as bridge guys, but ended up kind of exceeding expectations, at least especially in their first season there, like Testaverde in '98 with the Jets and Kerry Collins in 2000 with the Giants.
Yeah, and especially with it's especially a shame with I mean. And Brett Favre wasn't there in 2009 because he showed in 2009 he could still play, and then he gets traded to the Minnesota, and then he goes to the Minnesota Vikings, and so with if the timing was just a little bit better, that's also part of the curse, because if the timing was just a little bit better, the Jets could have had a Super Bowl, but
Yeah, I know, but it's never go away. This is yet another, this whole Quentin Williams thing is like getting arrested, their first round pick from last year, getting arrested is like, it's really like someone else's view in Jets Nation with all the Jets dysfunction,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I think on the other USA had Joe Domingo and Evan Roberts. Really, their first reaction to it was the whole thing with Quentin Williams is how much of a disappointment he was last year. Really, their first reaction isn't necessarily oh shit, he's a great player. Unfortunately, their first reaction is we're not sure if he's even that good of a player because of how disappointing his rookie season was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
I mean, it got a little bit better as the season went on. The whole defense did. But
yeah. Funny, certainly, like people were touting him as the best player in the draft, and he didn't live up to that hype in his rookie year.
no, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, he
And
didn't.
it's like considering it was a disappointment considering who was picked after him and really did play have a great rookie year, like Josh Allen with Jacksonville and Ed Oliver with Buffalo.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It would have been great if the Giants had Josh Allen too. But
Yeah, but if Daniel Jones turns into the franchise quarterback, you can't fault them for picking Daniel Jones when they did instead of Josh Allen.
that's true. Yeah. That's definitely true.
Of course, yeah, that is it. And I say while Daniel Jones overall did all right in his rookie year, really one season is not enough to determine how good he is. We'll time to tell really whether or not he's a franchise player yet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's gonna take a few seasons. Yeah.
Yep.
It might take a few seasons. But that's the whole thing. Yeah. It's okay. It's Yeah, and we're waiting on him. We're waiting on Sam Donald.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, same thing. We're still not sure really how good he is either.
Yeah. He could develop just fine, but yeah. Him getting mono was not a good thing last year. So, him getting mono, it could have been a better season for them, but that's often the case with the Jets. It could be a good season, but will it be a good season? I don't know.
Well, that must be silly for next year. Well, right now, I'd say the story for next year. Next year could be a good season, but will it? We don't know. I'll have to see. Well, I'll have a clearer picture of what next year will look like. In a few days when seeing who they sign and don't sign in free agency.
Right. Yeah. That's what it's all about. That's yeah. Yeah, but the free agency period's starting, right?
Yeah, free agent signing beginning in just a few days. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. That could be a good that could be a make or break for some teams between getting a guy who is going to put them over the top and not.
Like the one who wanted them to re-sign Robbie Anderson, it still can happen, but I'm not optimistic that it's going to happen.
Yeah. I'm not either.
Yeah, I mean, the general reports I've heard are they think Robbie Anderson is going to walk in free agency, but I'll be able to live with that if they extend if they really lock up Jamal Adams, and the reports I was reading saying that they are looking to do that, thankfully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, definitely, well, they have to resign Jamal Adams, basically.
They even do it, they actually I thought the contract here was this year, but they actually have rights to him even next year too.
Yeah, I mean, really, without Jamal Adams, though, they're kind of, the defense is not going to be nearly as good. So, they have to resign Jamal Adams. Otherwise, it could be another one season.
So hopefully they got to work on it still, even though they have 2 more years, they should work on it.
Right, yeah. Although I don't really have any confidence that they're going to. It wouldn't surprise me if they trade him or something. You know?
Yeah, man, that would be. But remember, it wouldn't surprise me. But remember, I do think Joe Douglas feels the pressure to put a winning team on the field next year because the fans are really getting sick of the interfering of really this all the losing seasons. They really need to see a competitive season. It's long overdue now.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because the scenario if they don't put a winning team on the field next year, is Adam Gase and Joe Douglas gone, or is maybe and then you're going to be in a situation with starting over again, and you got to give those coaches and GMs time. So it's like a no-win situation, really, at that point.
Yeah, no-win situation for everyone. Well, yeah, I think that's why but because of the pressure, that's why I'm hopeful that Joe Douglas is going to do everything he can to put a team that has a chance to make the playoffs on the field next year, on the field in 2020.
Maybe. But he may not even re-sign Robbie Anderson. Like you did.
Yeah, if I can live with that more than I can live with trading Jamal Adams.
Yeah, especially if it means that they might be able to pick up another pretty decent receiver and have cap space. But what if they trade Le'Veon Bell, too? I mean, and nothing would surprise me.
Yeah, that's going to be even harder to do than trading Jamal Adams because given his age and his contract, they're not going to get, compensation for him that would be at all worth it.
Right. Yeah, most likely not. But.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much stuck with him, and the reports are indicating that he's not really on their trading block.
Reports are indicating that they're not really crazy.
That Le'Veon Bell, the latest reports I've heard is that Le'Veon Bell is not on the Jets trading block.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good. At least he's not as much on the trading block, supposedly, but, yeah, I don't know. Nothing surprises me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, sure. Nothing with this organization, the inept ownership and front office can surprise you,
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Nothing would surprise me.
Yeah, and well, hey, the Knicks have gone through 20 years of inferiority, but yet it doesn't seem to really fade, and none of the bad publicity that the Knicks get because of it really fades going now, or does it? What do you think? At the time of everything now, of course, really are, this is the biggest headline ever surrounding the Knicks. The chance of selling the team from fans at the Garden and fans incubating that chance, being thrown out of the building, being thrown out. What do you think of all that?
Yeah, right? I know.
Yeah.
No question. Yeah. No question. I don't know. Definitely the bad publicity. Yeah, well, I almost would. When we were at Madison Square Garden yesterday, I was almost saying, I almost would have said to the nice young lady who showed us around, I got a message for James Dolan, that we're not going to buy tickets if they sing. So, which is kind of what we did say. That's kind of what we did say to them.
James Dolan has been getting the clear arrested fans the other day, and sell to sell the team vendors, and they can't sell the team. Of course, of course, he really retaliates and says, "This is my house," and throws him out of the day, throws him out when they do that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Well, I mean, he gets tickets out still, so that's
Right. Well, and I think actually people who are really true basketball fans are like the true Knicks fans who are really truly into the Knicks and basketball are starting to boycott and not go to games. The big problem is, there are a lot of people who aren't basketball fans that go there. He really still sells enough tickets to people who aren't basketball fans because it's a big tourist attraction for a lot of people. Like going to a Knicks game in Madison Square Garden still in many ways is like the mecca of basketball, and really people from all over the world will go to a game there, because it's the world's most famous arena, whether or not they're really into basketball.
Yeah, I mean, even you yesterday saw the mystique of it, right? Yeah.
It was my first time. Yeah, Dan and I yesterday went to the. We're just getting the sales pitch from. We're at the Garden, just getting a sales pitch on, packages on Knicks and Rangers tickets, and I got the first time I've ever really got a close-up view of the court, and. It was really first time I ever saw the court, and it was, pretty cool to see that for the first time.
Yeah, we were really courtside, and we did see all the banners hanging up and everything. So, it was something. It really was something. So, definitely, it definitely does have that allure, it's very well lit, the lighting and everything, and, it is an attraction for sure.
I mean, so therefore, the problem is James Dolan doesn't lose enough business because he still gets a big market of fans who are of really non-fans who just come there for the tourist place for really the tourist attraction.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's what it is. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, really. This is really kind of true of a lot of the owners around here. And I mean, really, by and large, New York, New Jersey area sports really have not been that great for a few years. By comparison, I mean, it was one of the worst decades ever.
Yeah, the 70s was like the last decade that was close to being as bad as this. Well, that was the last decade where the Jets and Giants were this bad, and the Jets and Giants were actually marginally better in the 2010s than they were in the 70s. The 70s was by far the Jets and Giants' worst decade, But as far as New York sports goes, actually the 2010s might be even worse than the 70s because the Yankees at least won a couple World Series in the 70s, and in the 2010s, there haven't been the Yankees. It was the first decade since the 1910s that the Yankees failed to win a World Series.
Yeah, Yankees didn't win a World Series. Only the Giants won the Super Bowl. That was the one championship, really, by all the New York sports.
The one New York sports championship was the Giants winning Super Bowl 46 in 2011.
The Rangers made it to the finals once. The Devils made it to the finals once, but
and the Mets made it to the World Series once in 2015.
Right. Yeah, they were the only ones to even make it to the big stage. It was not a good decade. It really wasn't. So,
Right. The 70s was the only decade that was close to as bad. Like the Yankees won, but there were two New York championships in the 70s. The Yankees won 2 World Series in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, the Jets made it to an AFC Championship game in 2010. And then I don't even know if any of the other teams really made it to a championship series. Well, Rangers made it to a championship series.
believe.
And well, the Yankees made it to the World Series when they made it to the championship series in 2012, 2017, and 2019, and they made it to three championship series. And 2010, so actually the Yankees made it to 4 championship series.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, the Yankees are the one team that's been fairly competitive, but just not by Yankee standards, because they didn't win a World Series.
For the first decade in a century that they failed to win a World Series, way back to the 1910s, the last time they went through the whole decade without at least one world title.
Wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would think? Yeah, I mean that they've been that successful.
They won their first World Series in 1923. They've won one World Series at least. They've won at least one World Series in every decade. Except, actually, no. Correct. Check that. They actually didn't win a World. The 80s actually. I'm sorry about that. The 80s they didn't win a World Series. The one difference is they did get to a World Series in the 80s. They did win one pennant in the 80s, but in the 2010s they neither won nor played in a World Series throughout the 2010s.
That's true. And of course, if Greg Nettles was healthy in that World Series, they might have won the World Series.
In the 1981 World Series that they lost to the Dodgers.
Indeed. Well, of course, I mean, they also lost Sterling Munson, which was a big blow to them, too. Yeah, that was a big blow to them, too.
And by the way, after they lost that World Series, I guess that was kind of the beginning of a real down period for them from because it was pretty much from then until 93, they were really not that competitive.
Yeah. I mean, there were several years where if they were the wild card, they actually would have made the playoffs in the 80s. I believe like 87.
Right, and 93 was one of those years where if there was a wild card, they would have made the playoffs.
That's true. That is true. It would have been, that was the start of their winning season. They haven't had a losing season since. Yeah, that was the start of the season.
But this was the first decade in a century where they neither won nor played in a World Series.
That's true. They didn't even play in the World Series. Well, I mean, we're finding out now that they got robbed of a few World Series potentially.
Yeah,
with the Astros and the Red Sox. But yeah, still, nonetheless, I mean, still, you can't necessarily say that they won it. So it was a disappointing decade overall. So.
Yeah.
Man, it would have been great to have a Yankees Dodgers World Series. Because 2017 looked like it was heading that way, potentially. But still, it just didn't quite work out that way.
Yeah. Yep. And while we still have time, we're getting towards the end here. We haven't talked anything about hockey yet, and unfortunately, we don't have.
Yeah, John's really our biggest hockey fan.
Yeah, I know the basketball, the Rangers were really for a while. They started to really the playoffs, but a couple of tough losses have set them back at this point. So, what's your prediction at this point, Dan, of whether or not they're going to make it?
It's unlikely. It's unlikely. With several, I mean, they're really, with not that many games to play, they're like 6 points out. So, it's not likely. The big news in basketball, really, in terms of New York basketball, is the Nets fired Kenny Atkinson, the head coach. So.
Oh, wow, yeah. I guess they were still in NBA. Wow. Did they have any word on why they made that move to fire their coach right now?
Well, I mean, there's suspicion that it may have been some of the players, like like Kyrie Irving and stuff like that, but not 100% sure. I mean, a couple of people were arguing that Kenny Atkinson was the second best coach that they ever had. If not the best.
Right, well, it's not really surprising me if it was the players. This is one thing that's been talked about is the NBA. A lot of people say too much more players in the league right now, and the players are really kind of too much power, like the superstar players are really like to own the team and having too much power, and if they don't like a head coach, the owner will really get rid of them,
Right, yeah, I mean, it's crazy because the owner can really essentially do whatever they want.
Right.
And they do whatever they want. Of course.
It can be really tied with star players in the NBA, and superstar players in the NBA, and let them call the shots,
Right, well, yeah, and of course, I mean, it's crazy because as a coach, and part of the reason they get so much money is, because they're hired to be fired. I mean, it's very rare you get that many exceptions, but, eventually they all think you're fired. So, like one of the people on WFAN we're really talking about, and to some degree that's true. I mean, very rarely, you might get a Greg Popovich or a, Bill Belichick once in a while, but, yeah, most of the coaches are somewhat in the middle, and it depends on the players, and, it's, eventually, I mean, if you don't have the players especially, they're hired to be fired, essentially. So, even if
I always felt like that was most true in football, but it's probably true in every sport, that eventually you're really hired to be fired. Chances are you're going to be fired someday when you're hired as a head coach,
Right. And sometimes there's not even necessarily a real clear rationale, rhyme, or reason for it. You're hired to be fired, essentially, at some point. Like, the owner is just not going to keep you, So, on a whim, they may fire you.
One thing, I feel like the NFL is generally the least job security, but I feel like one thing that's also kind of true in the NBA that people have been saying, and I agree with you, is that the players do get more power, the superstar players do get more power than they ought to in the NBA. I see it's like, this is how I am willing to that probably fired their coach because Kyrie Irving didn't approve of him. And the same thing kind of happened a few years ago in Cleveland with LeBron James. He didn't approve of the coach that after he returned from Miami, so they fired him this season in spite of having a winning record and I think and having the best record in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, no question. No question. No question about it. And that's definitely been the case for a while. It's a tough era for coaches to be in. It's a tough era for coaches to be in. Yeah, even a coach as successful as that. So, yeah, it's a tough era. It's a tough time period. But anyway, it's been about an hour, so we're gonna head off. Once again, I would like to thank Richard Quinn, Modern Metro, the Shepherd and the Knucklehead, Marco Cedar, and it's been a great week. We got another great week ahead of us. We're going to be close to the baseball season. We got March Madness starting soon. Let's see. We got baseball and basketball going to be. Basketball and hockey are going to be close to the playoffs. So, so tune in. And till next week, may your favorite teams win.
Check out our sponsor, the Shepherd and the Knucklehead. They have good specials every weeknight as we show them here, so check it out.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, they sure do. Indeed. The Shepherd and the Knucklehead. And, of course, yeah. So, till next week, yes. And you've been listening to the Amigos, Tri-State Smokes Talk Show.
The Shepherd the Knucklehead celebrates two of man's greatest pursuits, craft beer and a hot meal.
When it comes to craft beer, they're all in. An incredible lineup of beers on tap, fed by rows of kegs in the basement. And they double down with a menu of apps, soups, seafood, and butchered on-site steaks. Everything scratch-made, local ingredients whenever possible.
Great place, great food, unbelievable beer selection, friendly staff. Can't go wrong.
Craft beer, cocktails, food, classic and creative. Something for everyone. The Shepherd and the Knucklehead.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com